I chose to come here. My biggest thing was safety and compliance. I don't have to be worried about being force dispatched or, you know, going out beyond my hours. And I like the fact that it was a small company and that I'm a name here and I'm not just a number.
I chose to drive for Len Dubois Trucking because the job that I had previously was getting to be very strenuous on me, and I was looking for something different. I saw an ad and I made a phone call to the company, and Jason himself answered the phone, put me in touch with the driver services personnel. And what impressed me is the person called me on a Friday night after hours to make arrangements to meet with me the next morning for an interview. And because of that interest in the qualities that I could bring to the company, I thought this has got to be a good company to come and drive for.
I chose to drive for Len Dubois Trucking at a time when I was coming off of a very bad working relationship with a prior employer. And I was looking to get my truck on somewhere. And I had checked out the major players around the city, the other trucking companies that had everything from 20 trucks up to the 500-600 trucks. And you go with, sometimes you go with a feeling. How you're treated at the interview. I know a lot of people doing the interviews are interviewing the driver coming in for a job. I think it's just as important for the driver to interview the company. How are you going to feel at that company? And I had just about given up on coming over here because I could never get a hold of Jason. He was always busy out doing something. I could never reach him on the phone to set up an appointment. And luckily, as it turns out, on the last day, as it were, my wife and I just dropped in, and he was here, and we talked for about 20 minutes, a half hour, and he explained everything that they had going at that time, and it was very close to what another company was offering. But the other company was running just about strictly reefers, and I had to buy my own trailer, and they were working on a percentage as well. They were paying a few points more on percentage. And when I came here, Jason explained everything that they did, everything that they do, and then he said, we don't run reefers and don't have any plans to. Give me a pen, I'll sign. Just the feeling I got talking to him, he seemed like a really nice person to deal with, and just a fast look around the operation. It was considerably different 10 years ago than it is today. There was a half a dozen people in the building, you know, and everybody almost had coffee together at the same time, sort of thing. Everybody was working in a tight little space. But even then, it was still, it felt like a really well-run operation. It just seemed right. And as I say, July 10th, 03, and I haven't regretted it.
Just to come to Len Dubois Trucking, the company I worked with before didn't maintain their equipment. I was out on the road for 3 weeks at a time and come in for a single day. And when I came in here, Jason said trips are usually about a week. Come in for a couple of days, competitive pay package, and the equipment was well maintained. I mean, you can see that as soon as you walk in the yard. It's new late model Volvos and Camrys, so it looked like a pretty good place. He wasn't promising everything under the sun like the other guys. He was just very realistic. You're going to get good miles, you're going to get decent home time, you're going to make some money. So decided to give him a shot, and that was back in 01. So I've been here ever since.
I chose to drive for Len Dubois because the trucking school I went to gave me their card and John hired me on the spot.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just like I've said, you know, you are family here. You're a part of the team member. Dispatch works with you. They'll do anything and everything to make sure you get the miles you need each month to, you know, and the pay is very good, lots of incentives.
I would certainly recommend Len Dubois Trucking to other drivers. The reason being is, one, the way they treat us as drivers, the quality of equipment that we get to drive, the demand that they place upon us as drivers for quality work. Often we get comments from customers that tell us that they really appreciate the way that we care about their freight and getting it there on time. And so for those reasons, I guess I would really recommend it.
Other drivers, owner-operators specifically, but drivers wanting to come on as company drivers as well, would do very well here for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is it doesn't feel like you're working for somebody, you're working with somebody. And that's the feeling that I've always got here, is that they're on board trying to help me with my business.
I would definitely recommend Len Dubois Trucking to other drivers. It's a really good place to work. They treat you well, you get good miles, good home time, they don't play games. And you know, I've been here for a long time, and I've just, anytime I do have any type of issue or small problem, they deal with it right away, professionally, and it's just a really good management and dispatch team.
I would absolutely recommend Len Dubois to other drivers. As I said, I like the fact that it's a smaller company, so if I have a problem, I can go to John or Jason or the dispatch guys, or straight to Devin, depending on what the issue is.